Hey guys, I'm Joseph and I just watched Suicide Squad. I'm trying something new, so let me know if it works or not. By the way, there's no spoilers in this one, so let's jump into it. Alright, peeps. I heard all the reviews and backlash before going to see this movie, and I was going in with disappointment all in my mind. I was ready for it to be absolutely horrible. But in my first viewing, my first time watching the movie, I walked out happy and ecstatic, and I thought it was great. However, that was my DC fandom bias kicking in, which I tried to control, but before I put my review up, I knew I had to watch it again in order to be honest. So after watching it a couple times, I see some issues with the movie. The first half of the movie is fantastic with the intros to most of the squad and a few flashbacks to give you some backstory. I thought that was awesome. But my biggest issues, well, that I noticed with this movie, one, like being the main one, the big focus of my issues is editing, because I think it's not that they don't do a good job. It's just there's some serious editing issues in this movie, and to be honest, that's my main issue. I do have an issue with the villain. The villain felt underwhelming, so it didn't kind of it just didn't fit well with me. Um, Also, the music, although I love all the music in the movie, it sometimes I felt overtook the scene and took away from the amazing performances we get from each character. And then the characters, however, is in talk some pros. The squad itself, I think everyone did a great job. I mean, Will Smith as Deadshot, Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn, Viola Davis as Amanda Waller, even Jay Courtney as Captain Boomerang, and Jay Hernandez as Diablo. I mean, that's not even naming them all, but the whole team worked together very well. The only thing I would have changed just a bit is the look of Killer Croc. I like the way they did him. I just felt that he should have been bigger, a little more menacing. Just because that's how I like Killer Croc and all. But I mean, that's the only thing that I would have changed. I had no issues with him. I liked the way he did his thing when he fought and hands on, and it was actually really fun to see this movie. It was a visually stunning movie. I liked it a lot in that sense. Also, we don't get a lot of Batman, but every second was pure awesome. Just throw that out there. We also don't get a lot of Jared Leto's Joker, but from the little that we do get, and from what I saw, I did like it. I liked where I think he's going with it. I'd like to see more of his character, and I'd like to see more of him and Harley and Bat on the screen together, just to really get that just that DC fandom out there, but just to really see how well his Joker can do, because it looks like he's like a pretty good Joker. But like I said, I don't think there's enough to really be like I hate him or I love him, but there's enough to me like to be intrigued. So I definitely want to check that out. I would like to see more of that. And however, I still think that this movie is better than what all the critics are saying. Overall, it's a fun movie, and to me, it's the first DC comic book movie that really feels like a comic book. Because most of the time they're trying to force it to be realistic, and it's a comic book based movie. I want it to be over the top, and I want it to be ridiculous. Like it's a comic book movie. It's not in a real world. I don't want to know what these characters look like if they were real. I just want these characters. So I think this movie did a great job of doing that for the most part with each character. So I like that, and I would just like to see that released. Don't be afraid to use the source material. Don't be afraid to use the comics and be like, in real life you can't do that. Well, fuck that. In the comic he can, kind of deal. So that's my only thing, and I think this movie did a good job of kind of dipping its toe in that pool of water. So like I said, all the characters looked awesome. I think they all did a great job. And all in all, guys, I'm giving Suicide Squad a solid B. I know this movie has some issues. It's not perfect, but those issues really kept it from being a great movie. But all in all, I think it's a step in the right direction for DC's extended universe. One of my biggest things that I liked was that, finally it looks like DC's not being afraid of colors when it comes to their movies. I like seeing the colorful. I like seeing color where it should be. So that was one thing in this movie, and there was a few moments here where it felt a little over the top, and I was like, that's perfect. It's a comic book movie, Lego. So I did like that. I enjoyed that very much. So, like I said, solid B, but sadly now we have to wait. Wonder Woman's next, which feels like forever away. Yo peeps, now I want to hear your thoughts on the movie, likes and dislikes, all that in the comment section below. Please don't forget to smash that like button, followed by the subscribe. And if you want to follow me on Instagram or Twitter, I'll leave links to both of those in the description box down below. And as always, it's a pleasure.